welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 189. And obviously, in this one, we will be discussing the first game of the season and how it was, terrible, as we all know. And a bit of transfer news has come out. Obviously, there's a lot of rumours going around, but no one actually coming in at this moment. Which you got just over about 2 weeks left. So yeah, we need players fast, man. Especially when you look at the other day. Yeah, but obviously we'll get into that. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, Dad. You're back on. It's actually been to be exact. It feels so weird, but it's been a month and 1 day. It's been very very long time. But how have you been, Dad? You been good?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. We're all brave here, and I know you're good as well, so that's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm all good. Everything's going all right. Life in general and stuff on the channel as well. So yeah, I'm all good at the moment. But yeah, like I say, Burnley game. So yeah, we're getting to that. Obviously, I managed to get a last minute ticket. Shout out to Darth Vader again for that. Much appreciated. And yeah, man, it was good. I'll be honest, guys. I was debating to surprise David when he was doing the fan cams, but then I thought, I don't know, if it turned up out of nowhere, it'd be a bit like, what am I doing, sort of thing. But I told him in the end, obviously, he'd done one. Like I said, he did do one with Mike, but the microphone was playing up. You know what their microphones are like. I got one myself. But obviously, we've got our one out, and big up to everyone that viewed that. But yeah, as for the game, obviously, the lineup. Now, I remember, before we were about to go in, me and Darth Vader looking at it, and that's probably the best signal I've ever had in Luton. If I'm going to be honest, I can actually do stuff, on my phone without it taking about 100 years to load. But see the lineup and stand out for me straight away. Looking at the lineup was Nelson in. Obviously we know Bell was on the bench as well, which was good to see. And I did have a slight feeling, just because he put something on his Instagram a few hours before, just a picture of him in a Luton shirt and put some emojis, I think. So I was thinking, okay, that's a sign. And they did say the other week that he was the one in full training. So maybe he had a bit of an idea there, that he could potentially be in. But yeah, Nelson was ahead of Ruddock. Obviously, there was no Clark. I mean, I'm not looking too much into that. He's either injured or he's ill, because I can't see us getting rid of him. We'll at least keep him for another year, and it'd be stupid, because we don't have any plans in place, as it is, especially in midfield anyway. Or we might do, but it's not, officially coming in yet. So obviously it's Kaminsky in goal. Back three, Walters, Mengi, Johnson. So very young back three there. Obviously there. Also, I am a bit surprised Holmes didn't start, considering we've only got two centre backs, available right now, Mengi and him. Or even get a run out. Chio on the right, Doughty on the left, Baptiste and Nelson, like I say. And it was interesting because Nelson actually seemed to be a bit deeper than Baptiste. I thought maybe because Baptiste has come in to be similar to how Barkley was last season, I thought maybe he would be deeper, because we know Barkley was a lot. And especially what we have seen in Nelson in pre-season, where he's been, more as a cam sort of. I was a little bit surprised. And then obviously Chong was ahead of them. And then obviously Morris and Elijah. So, you'd expect that front three. That's the best front three we can go with. As for the bench, it was obviously Bell, like I say, Trigozi, Francis Clark, Tom Holmes, Ruddock, Shea, Taylor, Townsend, Woodrow. So obviously there's a bit of speculation that Derby were looking at Woodrow. And I also looked at it. If he weren't on the bench for this game, then, most likely would have gone there. But obviously it looks like he probably will stay. And like I said, it makes sense for us to keep him for another year, because I don't really want to, even though Townsend could be going and he's part of that attacking, section, I just feel it's not a priority to get someone else in, unless, a bigger name went, like a starter, like a Morris or, an Elijah, for example. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, a lot of it I did expect, bar obviously Nelson starting. And yeah, I thought we'd go with that. I think I said everyone else there. Well, I did say Holmes, but then again, I said I wouldn't be surprised if Walters did play on that right centre back side, because obviously he can play there. So yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts when you see the lineup, Dad?
Yeah, pretty much knew that'd be that. Um, apart from obviously Nelson, or Clark would have started. But yeah, generally, but it also showed how we do need injuries back and be some signings, because we had like one midfielder on the bench, Ruddock,
Mm.
who Bell hasn't played, hasn't even played any pre-season, and then two youth team defenders as well.
Mm.
So, we had Taylor on the bench as well, which is good to see. But yeah, we try. I listened to his pre sort of match
Yeah.
guy. And he's seen talking a lot about the young stars and stuff, and we know Johnson's decent, probably better in his normal position, as we can probably see now. But we knew he was going to be in and around, so that's not really so much as Nelson. He's done really good in pre-season, so we can see why a lot of people, so that's because we haven't made the sign and we got injuries. So they've done a right in pre-season, and like I said, Johnson was going to be starting or being more involved definitely this season anyway.
Mm.
So it was just a formation, maybe should have been tweaked. I don't know why certain teams stay away from 4-4-2. I think that would have been better for us. Especially in a kind of situation which we were in. I do feel that Holmes probably should have started. I don't know what because the fact is, I think he's older than the others, and he's got more game experience, and he's a big lump as well. And I ain't seen him put a foot wrong really in any pre-seasons.
No.
So you could have maybe had him and Mengi in the middle, and then move Johnson to his natural position, move Waters to his natural position, and then just have three in midfield. You could have still had Nelson there. Maybe started Ruddock. You got Baptiste, or just move Chio and further up, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could have changed it up, I feel. But in hindsight,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Holmes has been good. In pre-season.
As I said, it did look the bench. I was like,
Mm.
that's not
And we were like that a lot of times last season, weren't we? When we
worse. This is worse than last season.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because at least then we had either Barkley or Lokonga as our midfield. Don't have any of them now. As we expected, obviously, but just yeah, it was like I say, I like Nelson. I've always said that youth game we played against Birmingham when he scored a hat trick. I think he might have even scored 4 that game actually. Won like 5-0, got revenge on them. It was the youth team. That was the game where I was like, okay, he's special. And then obviously, got involved a bit. Got that Premier League debut. Last season, and you've seen glimpses of good moments. That game we lost 3-2 in Slovenia, he come on and scored both goals. Could have had a hat trick as well. So, yeah, he definitely knew he was going to be in and around. And Johnson, like we say, he's been in and around for 2 seasons now, isn't he? That Middlesbrough game towards the end of the championship. So, again, he's always going to be involved. But yeah, we definitely need to get more, as we know. Let's go through some comments. Big up to Billy, puts hello. Big up to yourself, mate. Big up to David. Shout out to David. He says, hello all. I hope you're both well. Yeah, we're good. Thanks, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, literally. You tried pranking me before we went on, didn't you, Dad? With this? With your hair. He thought your hair was purple then. It's the lighting.
Yeah. I dyed my hair purple. I'm going for a midlife crisis, man.
Yeah, this why I ain't seen him for so long, because he's
It was a lot worse than this, but I don't look too bad now.
But yeah, big up to Steve as well. He says, hi folks, just one of them bad days at the office. They happen, all the best. Yeah, it's obviously we'll get into it, dissect more, but I expected a loss, me personally. Like I said, I come on here, I said 2-1 to them, but it's the manner, and I've said it on the fan cams and everything. It's the manner which I'm not happy about. it was too easy for them. But again, we'll get into it and dissect it a bit more. So obviously we'll start off with the first half, of course. Obviously they got 2 goals in the first half, similar goals. Obviously in the sense of a long ball up there, you know, no one's there. Why is Nelson the closest player to their player, Brownhill, for the first goal? Brownhill, he has quite a good scoring record against us. I remember that game I went to at Burnley away, where he did score in the second half early on to get a 1-1 draw. And yeah, I knew he was a player to watch out for. I've always said it. He is Premier League quality. And again, as much as it's quite an easy finish for him, he took it away. After these players, even attackers, right? He's a midfielder. You know what certain attackers will miss good chances like that. So he done well there. I mean, from their perspective, good. But I was frustrated because Nelson shouldn't be the closest player there. For that long ball. And then as for the second goal, might as well dissect it in one because they're both similar goals. Again, this is what we say about Johnson. He's not a centre back traditionally. So we need to get someone in there because it was too easy. I literally remember saying on the vlog, as soon as the ball was played at the top, before it even went in the net, I knew they were going to score. I said too easy. And just like that, it was. But yeah, very frustrating start to the first half, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why you can see that we probably needed 4 at the back because Johnson was right at the other side. Mengi was, kind of in the. Do you know what I mean? 2 sort of spread out. If we'd have had 4 at the back, there'd have been, Holmes or someone in there to anticipate that, and that probably wouldn't have happened. Then the second goal, quick pass, slight little bit of naivety from Johnson. Like just sort of, but he'll get to that level. He went too far off it. Kaminsky should have probably come out and just jumped. He's normally good at that. Sort of just sat down. You know what I mean? Mengi was sort of screaming at him as well before that just come out and just, you know what I mean? Like put him off, but he just sort of let him take this. Do you know what I mean? Well, normally better than that. Anyway, and we've seen them sort of goals in pre-season as well.
Yeah.
And that's with Mengi still. That's without Walters. That was with like Hashioka or, who else has been playing in defence? Holmes, I guess. But for me, it's not the player. It's the 3 at the back, mate.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It needs to change. You can't be doing it.
Especially when you look at it, right? And it's like I said on the fan cam, you've got one player that's actually, traditionally a centre back, predominantly a centre back there. You've got to change it up. Like we know, like I say, Walters can play there, but you want to play him where you want to play him, and that's as a wing back. People say they want to see Chio higher. So do I at this rate, because obviously we're getting to player ratings in a bit, but disappointing from him again, man. I have to be honest. But again, people want to see him higher because they know he's much better there, and he's the fastest player in the team. He can exploit opposition by trying to run in behind, take him on, etc. But as you were saying, Dad.
Yeah, I just think 4. And then midfield, like we're low on midfielders anyway. Do you know what I mean? So you start Baptiste. I don't know, have a 3 in there. So Baptiste, Nilsson, and then just push Chio. Like he doesn't have to play on the wing. I think. Do you know what I mean? Or Chong, put him in there. Yeah, put Chong in there. Then put Doughty and Chio on the thing. Do you know what I mean? And maybe just have 1 up front or whatever. Well, you don't. You still have 2 up front. Do you know what I mean? Just swap a player around. But yeah. We can't because you had Holmes on the bench, man. I would have started him, I'll be starting him definitely. I'll be putting forward back.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean,
Johnson's in his natural position. Then he ain't gotten. If he is chasing back, there'll be either Mengi or Holmes to like cover for him. Same as they scored the first goal. Walters was right out wide, too split out, too wide.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Change for me tactically, and then.
And I also felt we had that problem up front between Morris and Elijah. They were quite far away from each other, which isn't really the case usually. I felt that as well at times. But yeah, frustrating, man. And obviously, we go into that 2-0 down, and I was just at that point, and I'm sure every other Luton fan was just thinking, right, let's just try and get a draw now. Let's try and get an early goal and then see what happens, really. But going into the second half, we did get that early goal. Chong, good goal from him. He's going to be a good player this season, as we know. He's a player that takes on players, and like I said, I just want to see Chio do that when he's on the ball as well. 'Cause like I say, he's the fastest player in the squad, and we know he's good at it. Um, and his pace really helps him in that scenario. But yeah, Chong, right place, right time, you could say. Again, it was another Baptiste cross. Not quite, him getting the assist, but similar to what he tried against Celta Vigo. But then obviously Doughty played it across to him, headed it across, and he couldn't really miss, really, if we're going to be honest. And yeah, I mean, that moment on, I was thinking, okay, right, we might actually get a draw now. I might actually just do it the Luton way, like we like to do. But again, similar sense of them just, doing the same thing where we're just getting caught out too easily. Obviously, then they scored, didn't they? O'Shea, and that was curtains. That was curtains for me that moment. That was right in front of me as well, and yeah, it just weren't great, to be honest. But yeah, it was very frustrating, wasn't it? Though, getting that goal and then having that moment.
Yeah, it was. But let's talk about that goal, and just before that, which, some people haven't really praised as much. I don't think, and I think it deserves it. Baptiste,
Mm.
he done that in the Celta Vigo game. He's got
Yeah,
what I like about him is he's got, yes, he's not Ross Barkley, but he's definitely got similar attributes to him. His passing,
mm.
he's very excellent, especially getting into the box and onto,
I thought
just
his turn. You know how Barkley was good at turning. I thought he was quite good in this game at that.
The first chance, which Elijah headed onto the
Yeah,
crossbar.
that was unlucky. Yeah,
I was unlucky because their keeper was flapping at it again. He doesn't
mm.
like, and we should have just put Elijah on him all as much as we can. Just pump them long balls forward. I know we're trying to play a different way, but sometimes you've got to be pragmatic, exactly like they were, because they were really. It weren't like they passed us off the park. It was just
Mm.
long balls, a
Yeah,
set piece, and one, where we let their play, have the freedom of Kenilworth fucking road. Do you know what I mean? And then lay it off. That is quite frustrating. We've done that a couple of times last season. We've still got that kind of naivety there, like certain ways. I think Rob Edwards is still learning, and I think he does learn quick, so I'm not too bothered about that. He does. Well, if he puts same three at the back, then I'm going to be questioning stuff for me,
mm.
because I'd be putting forward. You've got two young defenders on the bench. You're playing youngsters anyway. You might as well. Do you know what I mean? Stick with that.
Mm.
But I'm not the manager, but I just think that it's just obvious. If you look at it, we've conceded a lot of goals.
Mm.
To the end of last season, 4 goals. Pre-season, we've let in 10 or whatever, at least 2 goals a game, pretty much. Apart from one game where we Dundee, we looked good, but we were still letting 2 goals there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the goal again. Baptiste whipped it into Doughty, I think it was.
Mm.
Direct, simple football, really.
Yeah,
Good, effective. We should be working more on that. I'm sure we are anyway, but we didn't really do that in the first half. Utilise him. He was everywhere. He was like Nakamba, but with a long pass, mate. He's a fucking bollocks, mate. I like him.
yeah,
And then corner, set piece. A bit again. You need a big man like Holmes in there. Burke, obviously, I know he's injured, but Holmes. Surprised didn't bring Holmes on as well. Again, I'm saying at half time. We rallied, but then as often as we've done in certain games last season, as we've done in pre-season, the last game of the fucking season, we can see pretty much straight away them issues are not being addressed.
no, It can't happen as many times as it has. It's a joke.
What we're gonna do? Like, we sit back, pass it, hold on to the ball for a bit. You don't have to pass it around the back. Just keep it. This is where you need decent midfielders.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on to the ball, spread it wide, whatever. We're just looking for the same options time in, time again. But it was a fantastic header. I think he's going to be Celtic looking at him or something like that. He is a good player. He did get mad.
He is, yeah.
Take away their performance because it was good, regardless of that. That they were well drilled. They just knew exactly what to do and probably decided that when they saw the lineups and stuff and thought, you know what, they had a certain idea, but then when they see that, they thought, you know what, or even though they're playing three at the back. He's not a natural centre back. Menji needs someone with him, and then he's even better. Do you know what I mean? As you know, generally, if he's got someone half decent alongside him, he's better.
And it's also like I know Scott Parker said pre-match. He said like they're gonna try and play the ball down as in them when they get the ball, but at the same time because they know we press, they're gonna play them long balls. He literally said it before the game, and they done it.
Yeah, because they that's what I'm saying. But and we didn't adjust to that. This is where I think other managers would adjust. I've seen Nathan Jones do it straight away, like half time, mate. Something's not working. Bosh.
I didn't like the way his subs were so late in this game.
Clean sheets, you know what I mean? So I think I would have changed it at half time because you're only only 2-0 down, but could have been more, and we were floundering. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
But it's a learning curve still, I think. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying I'm magic, but we can say in hindsight as well. But considering the fact that we've been letting in goals in pre-season, we haven't kept one clean sheet, and we've looked very similar to that in pre-season. Do you know what I mean? And I think we'll continue to do so for a couple of games as well, unfortunately. But we're notoriously slow starters. But talk about last goal.
Yeah, literally. Well, you briefly touched on it, didn't you? It's too easy for them to get in behind. And it's just a joke, really. I mean, a lot of times I say, I can't blame Kaminsky. I can't blame Kaminsky, but I do think he should have saved it a little bit, to be honest.
Bit trickery, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good finish, but I don't know, man. He could have done a bit better. But again, I don't. That shouldn't even be the case. I mean, they shouldn't even be getting in like that. That's the thing. So, and at that moment, you're just like, well, I was like, roll on full time, if I'm going to be totally honest. I'll be so honest with you guys. Usually, I'll clap them at the end, whatever the result is. But after that, I couldn't. I walked straight out. I'll be honest. I went to 90 minutes, but I just walked straight out because I was like, nah, mate. Like, that's not acceptable, man. Like, I expected a loss, like I say, but the manner of losing like that, no, it's not on for me. Not on at all. Especially when, like I said in the fan camp, Rob Edwards come out openly and said he wants to win the league. Well, you're playing with probably the best team in the league and losing like that, not a good look for me at all. So, frustrating. Obviously, he made 2 changes as well, Townsend and Ruddock. Why is Taylor not getting a run out? It's annoying. It's good to see that he's on the bench, like we said earlier, but it's frustrating that he's not getting a run out, especially with these Townsend rumours, of him apparently set to have a medical. It's like, okay, well, why did you bring him on then if he's not going to be part of your future pack? If that is true, but I think it is true because the amount
it is. We had no choice, did we? You know what I mean? Well, really, but I get it because it was quite late in that. But when he did come on, he was decent.
Yeah, he was good, yeah. And like I say, that people are looking at it 2 ways. They're looking, well, he's either looking good to get a move, to that team and look good for them, or, it's just one of them where
I think he's gone. I think personally.
Yeah, I think he is. Like I say, the amount of sources I've seen it by, it's not a couple. I've seen it all over the place. Literally, you go on Twitter, you go on latest yesterday, and it was everywhere, mate. Everywhere. So, obviously, I've said my thoughts on that. So, do check that out.
Tuesday night in, Derby County in December, or what summer, Saturday or Sunday, whenever the fuck they play.
Yeah, I mean, he's at that age, isn't he?
Holiday area of Turkey, you know what I mean? And
yeah, he's at that age.
Starting last season, towards the end of the last season, which we were a bit surprised about. And then he started playing a bit, not that great, but that's probably a good part of that. And then not really been involved in pre-season majorly. It's been these links. He's on the bench, you know what I mean? But he would have been on the bench, it's not, we ain't really got anyone else as well. So that's why he was on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it's, obviously his contract run out 2026, 2027, because he signed that contract, didn't he? So we should get, I know he's 30 odd, but we should get
in January. And plus, we might get a fee for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should get a decent amount because he signed that contract. I know he's 30 odd, but we should get,
You won't get much because
no, we won't get an awful lot.
He's only got a couple of months left on his contract, to be fair. Didn't he only sign a year in January? Oh, yes. Yeah, exactly. So 2025.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, he extended it. I know that. So, yeah. But we'll see, innit? Yeah, we should get something decent. Not. I know not too much, because like I say, he's 30 odd, but
and
find a new contract. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
He's probably on like 30k a week or something. And it's just, if you think about it, he might not be on that much, but he's got to be at least 20, 25, like maybe more.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Sitting on the bench, we can bring someone like for the future, from, I don't know, Cardiff or what, I don't know, another team like that, and we can match them wages. We'll pay a little bit less, do you know what I mean?
I mean,
some of that.
I haven't really seen anything come out about. Do you remember when we saw Taylor and Harris?
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
he might get involved on the bench or something.
He's a striker though, isn't he?
Yeah, we don't really get wingers, I guess. Though, really, do we? Really? We probably count Chio as one, but
I think we should be. I think I don't want this winger system anymore. I think it worked well under Nathan Jones, but it had worked slightly. Do you know what I mean? But it's lopsided. Because if Doughty's on it, it's fine. Chio's on it, it's fine. If Chio's not been on it for ages, really, I think he'd be better as part of a full midfielder or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It'd benefit him more. Give him more space, give him more time to just hold the touchline and that, rather than come inside all the time. I'll be doing a 4-2, mate. I'll be going old school.
Yeah, we definitely need to change it up. I mean, you're not the only one saying it. Everyone's saying it at this point because, it's just, even like it says in the title, time to change formation, I think it is. I think you've got to go to the back four. Even if you play like with fullbacks that, go forward, bomb forward, and have two centre-backs, and then have, I don't know, maybe 3 in midfield, but have one of them as like a cam and then 2 up front. Something like that. We have to change it up because like you said, Dad, I don't know why Holmes didn't get a run out the other day, or at least I said start as well, but I know it's probably going to be Waters, but even they should have got run out. His physical awareness, the way he jumps up, wins the headers and that could have been beneficial, especially in the way they were playing the long balls. 3 goals come from, just them getting in behind too easy, really.
Well, if Kaminsky, fair to it, play to him, he made a couple of, he is a
he did prevent it from being more of that.
With having, let's be honest, like an untrustworthy defence in front of him. If he's got a decent defence in front of him, he'll thrive even more.
Oh yeah.
It's going to do his confidence a little bit because he kind of knows that it doesn't matter. In the back of his mind, no matter, you're still a professional, but I might save like 3, but I'm probably going to let in 2 or 3. Do you know what I mean? Like, it needs to be sorted out. Just even if it's temporary fix, just to see. You've got to be brave and make these changes. And we did in the Premier League, definitely in certain ways. So we're going to have to, obviously we'll play lesser teams, but at the moment, we've got a bit of a tough run. Like even Preston, like yeah, they've just gone on that, but they'll be G'd up. I think they won yesterday as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I saw they were 1-0 up. Didn't see the full time, but yeah, 2-0, 2-0 win in the end. Yeah, exactly. And we struggle at Preston away.
Yeah,
last couple of times. Last time played them midweek, 1-1 draw. Remember doing a watch long, and then the last time played them 3 o'clock game, we lost 2-0. I was at that game, so I totally agree. We struggle against them. So yeah, apparently we're hearing now the Cardiff City boss. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. Literally right now, guys, breaking news has confirmed a bid has come in for Mark McGuinness, and talks are ongoing. It's been obviously that he's rumoured at 10 million. So yeah, could this be our most expensive ever signing, Dad?
I don't know if it's us. I know a few clubs are looking, but I think we are one of them. I think originally he was at Arsenal. He's got good pedigree. He probably knows Walters. He's only a couple of years older. He's played quite regularly for them. The rest of the team's not superb, but he scored the other day, I think, as well. He's a lump. He's very agile. He'll basically replace Burke. He'll push Burke right out of that team, I reckon. And we probably will be paying slightly more than what, but we need to. I don't think we'll pay 10. I think we might pay about 8, but I think possibly there's a couple of. I think we might sign a couple. I don't know. I've got a feeling that there's a midfielder there who's quite good as well. I'll put his name back, but I don't know. I'll be looking at him as well. But yeah, I think we'll end up getting him. I'm going to guess about 8 mil. And then there'll be others. That probably will be our most expensive signing. Bit of a statement as well. But I do think we'll sign a couple of midfielders as well. I think we realise that we probably need to sign more, or go for a couple more that are on that list than we were originally. Because we have got to factor in injuries. And somebody, keeps going, these players are going to be back soon and that, but some of them, I don't think they'll be back as quick as we think they will. September, like luckily that break comes up, doesn't it? The international break, we're going to need that. But some players ain't going to be fully up to championship football for a couple of months, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I agree. Especially with our luckies with injuries, I have to agree. But yeah, I think we've been rumoured with him.
This guy, sorry to.
That's all right.
He'll go straight into the team against.
Yeah. It will. Yeah, he'll have to really as well, won't he? To be honest, but yeah, I mean, what I was going to say,
he'll say we should go forward, but
yeah. What I was going to say is, it probably is us, because we have been rumoured with him for a couple of weeks, or rumoured looking at him, shall I say.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, Dad, he scored yesterday as well. So we know he's got that capability of bringing that dimension as well to the team. And, when you think about it, as much as we all say, potentially, even though he's back in training yesterday, or doing individual training, the Lockyer replacement, we're forgetting about an Osho replacement, really. And he could also be that as well as putting that pressure on Burke, in that sense.
Because what I've been looking at players that potentially could be available and stuff like that, just in this country, I still feel we need to be broadening our horizons, like, we did with Hashioka or whatever. But he fits the bill that MacArthur's on about. We're trying to get a player for to build on and could possibly play in the Premier League, and we're not steering away from that. This is why Peters probably wasn't signed. This is probably why Townsend's going to go, and that. Do you know what I mean? It's all right doing that sometimes, but if you've already got them players there, you've got the value as well. Do you know what I mean? And he's got that. I think he's, what is he, 21, 20, between 21 and 23, I think. He's good quality, and that he fits into the mold of what we're looking at. So it makes sense.
23 years.
Mm-hmm. And there you go.
So
You know, quite a
yeah,
few championship games. So
yeah,
sometimes, yeah, and you have to spend a little bit. You're going to have to. Yeah, you can still look for your bargains and that, and you might get your frees and that, like Sheffield United have done. They managed to persuade them players. They probably paid them high wages. Callum O'Hare, and a few others that they signed. They were a lot. They were all free. A couple of loans, I think they got as well. And we don't really like doing loans if we can help it. So, and it is difficult, PSR. And I think what's frustrating for all of us really is we are used to, for the past 5, 6, 7 seasons, maybe even more, getting our business done early, signing 8 players,
yeah,
within,
exactly.
do you know what I mean? By the time the season starts, we signed 7, 8 players, and then like we did in the Premier, and they have said, yeah, we've done the majority of our signings last season, and I can understand that, and we've managed to keep hold of our best assets. But they're saying it's just that they've got a reason for it, and we've just got to trust that. We've got to trust that. Obviously, losing 4-1 makes it look worse than it is, but if the transfer window is over, then yeah, you could definitely be moaning. Do you know what I mean? But it's not, is it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
That
people
way.
do say judge it when it's done, which, yeah, again, I am on that wavelength. My only concern is just if we we need to get some players in, they're just going to have to click straight away. And that's more on like them just having to get used to it. But I don't know, it's just like, I know we're trying, I've said it last couple of, streams and that I've done. I know we're trying, Rob Edwards come out and said that. It's just teams are trying to get more than they should for certain players. But yeah, like you say, Dad, it's like we usually do it early, so it's a bit like
That's all it is. That's all it is.
yeah,
That's all it is.
yeah, exactly. We're so used to it. We're like, right, what's going on here? Um, really. So, and again, a part of that comes down to my prediction for the table where I'll put us. I'd still put us in the playoffs. I don't think we'll be, a shocking season. I just think, just as it stands, we haven't done enough. It might change. It might change. If we get some players in, which obviously we need to, but depending on who them players are as well, if we get McGuinness in, I'll be happy with that. I will be happy with that because I would say he's got a lot of potential and he has looked good. He has looked good from what I've seen of him. To be quite honest with you, and I know Cardiff fans rate him very highly. And to be fair, if they're valuing him at 10 million, considering he's come through at Arsenal, and then he's really, you would say not for him personally, but just bigger picture. It's probably one where you look at it, Cardiff not really challenging for thing, but he's done well for them still. He's been a standout. So I'll take it. No, I'll take it if it happens, but we shall see what happens on that. But yeah, that's the game as a whole. So we'll get into the player ratings now for the game. It's going to be very interesting. So Kaminsky, again, like you said, Dad, he made a few good saves. I do have to agree with that. Especially in the second half, I felt, because obviously it's right in front of me as well. There was that shot where I thought he saved it, but it hit the post because it's a bit of a difficult angle to see for me. But yeah, good few saves. Again, me personally, I felt we could have maybe done a little bit better on the fourth, but again, the midfield, it shouldn't have been that easy to even get to that stage. So I can't go too low again for Kaminsky. It was probably one of his worst games, but still, he made some good saves. So I'll just go with an average 6 for
Yeah,
Kaminsky.
I'm gonna 6, and also I think he's not really been involved in pre-season.
Yeah, except the last game, yeah.
2 games was it, or just the 1 game?
Oh no, sorry, yeah, the Dundee game, yeah, he was in that one, wasn't he?
So
Yeah.
he's going to get better, and he's a bit better defence in front of him. So I'll just give him a 6 as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. Jackie's in the chat. 7 for Kaminsky. Fair enough. Fair enough. Moving on to we go to Walters again. I actually thought he was good in this game. I thought he was actually really, really pretty good. To be fair, considering again we know he can play there, but it's not his main position. Considering it's not. Obviously Johnson's not predominantly a centre back, so it's not. Sometimes you can look better. Like in a better obviously defence, but I felt he'd done some decent stuff. To be fair, I probably would start him in the next game in a different way though, which obviously I'll get into on Friday. But yeah, I thought he was decent, to be fair. So do you know what? I'm actually going to go for 6.5 for Walters.
So, I'm going to give him. Yeah, I'll give him a 6.5. I was tempted to give him more, but because we scored conceded 4. But his tenacity, he's only 19. He's looking. Obviously, he's from Arsenal as well, like top. Um, looked more confident in Johnson's different play. Do you know what I mean? But then it, his confidence and tenacity on the ball, winning, trying to win the ball and winning it, making the right decisions. Um, yeah, I liked him. I liked it. I think he he's going to be like Mengi was like last season. He's just going to force his way into the team. I think he's definitely better than Kabore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When he also got forward a few times. Do you know what I mean? And maybe if he's been given license to do that a little bit more, that could benefit us. Especially later on, he was putting some crosses in and stuff. Obviously, when it's too late and that, but still, yeah, I thought he was decent. 6.5. And this is a good thing. Like you got to see the two players that we have signed. I think they're pretty decent. I think they're good.
Mm. Yeah, no, I agree. Especially
Got
to get them for free. Like, I'm happy with the free signings.
with the other side of it. This is the side where we obviously are spending money,
Mm.
but are not going to be rans. You want him, you've got to pay over the odds and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So there's part of that, and we've just discussed that. So but getting the players on the free because that's and they're very very good for the club. Baptiste, yeah, he's a little bit older, but he's obviously hungry. He's obviously got ability because he was at Brentford for a while. He's had his injury problems. But they were mainly shoulder injuries and stuff. So not he's strong in his legs and stuff, and he's got a good pass on him. And yeah, I think he's decent. He can get on the ball easy. He's comfortable. Box to box, as we know. Just need some good players around him more. But yeah,
Yeah.
6.5 for Wolves. I just wanted to mention them too because I thought they were pretty decent considering.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. They were the two best players for me. But yeah, moving on to the next player, we'll go to Mengi. Again, a few decent moments. Again, I know we conceded 4, but there was the moment where Ruddock come on. That was right in front of me, and that Mengi was getting frustrated because at the end of the day, he should just cleared it. He just sort of hesitated, and it does that sometimes. It's frustrating. Mengi cleared it away. Few good sliding blocks, like we know he's good at. So yeah, it wasn't a terrible game from Mengi, to be honest. I don't think it was really. Maybe the first goal, you could say, his positioning could have been a bit better, but throughout the game, I thought he was okay, considering he's only centre back, like predominantly. That is his main position. I'm going to go over 6, same as Kaminsky.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6 as well. I think better, but he couldn't really do too much considering the way going 3 at the back. I don't think he likes it either, to be honest with you. But it's too easy. I think he can see it. Not don't forget, he's young and he's not, but he's been at Man United. Do you know what I mean? When you've got clubs that level, their coaching and way. This is how they help produce the young talent and stuff. Is because they've got the best coaches and the best tactical coaches and this, that, and the other. So do you know what I mean? Even certain players like that can feel that this is going to be a hard game. This isn't really working, but you can't quite tell them. You probably can say stuff, but do you know what I mean? He's not the manager, is he? But we're lucky we still got him. To be honest with you. And if he knows that we're going to be spending big to get another partner for him, then of course that helps him obviously not being tempted to go anywhere else. We don't, he'll be on club's list 100%. Watch out in January and things like that. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think there'll be a lot of money spent in January. But with, you know, if someone's performing well in League One and we just go, right, bang, we're going to give you 5 million, do you know what I mean? They'll be probably going, yeah, do you know what? Like, yeah, that happens. Do you know what I mean? We're in a position to do that. So,
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Jackie's rating so far, Walter's 7. Fair enough. Yeah, he was standout again, like I say. Mengi 6.5. Fair enough. Moving on to the next player, which was obviously Johnson. Like I say, it's not the centre back. We know that. However, the first goal wasn't. The second goal, the positioning not the best. But again, he had a really good block, and I think I might have got it on the vlog if I remember rightly. Block that he did in the second half. I thought they were going to score again. That was, I like to see that. He put his body on the line there. So as the game grew on, I thought he was a bit better, to be honest, compared to how he started, in the game. But again, it's not his natural position predominantly. So for me, I'm gonna go with another 6 for Johnson.
oh, yeah, just below that, but I'll just give him a 6 because I don't do 6. So I don't do halves and that. Well, what I do halves, but I don't do decimals or whatever. But so I'm going to give him 6. It's not his natural position. Yeah, he can't. He played. I think he played in centre back though against Celta Vigo because Mengi got injured and he was in the middle.
He did, yeah. It looked like he moved to the middle.
He done all right in that position. He had some good moments, like say the blocks and that. There was a moment where he won it high up the pitch to allow Elijah to go through, and Elijah shot.
Yeah, I like that. Since the Celta Vigo game, he's done a lot of long balls, which we were saying in that AGF game. We want to see him do more.
Yeah, he got caught out for that goal, but I'm not overly. Again, I think if we'd have had someone else back in the centre, we might have been able to cover that. So I'm not going to be 6. Oh, I thought there were some good moments for him.
Yeah, Jackie's gone with the same 6 as well. Johnson. We'll move over to Chio on the right side. A bit disappointing, if I'm being honest, because again, I know we want to see him higher, and he probably wants to play higher himself. But at the same time, I just don't like the way he cuts back. He goes forward, then he cuts back, and plays it backwards. A lot of times people around me were like, right, he's going to cut it back. And it's frustrating because we know he's the fastest player of the team and he can use that to his benefit, of trying to get in behind, but we just didn't really see that. So he's going to be my lowest so far. I can't lie. I'm going 5.5.
I know. I'll give him a 6. I think he was, especially in the second half, he was more involved as we were going forward, and that's what he's better at. And that's the problem, I think, because we just need another one in midfield to help him, to stop him coming back like that. I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's fair enough. Jackie's gone with the same. Moving on to Doughty. Now, he did get the assist. However, I thought a lot of his deliveries in this game were quite poor for his standards. If we're going to be honest, a lot of them front post, and it's frustrating. It's like, come on, you can do better there. Hopefully, with Bell coming back, I know Rob Edwards likes to play him as a centre back, but hopefully, we will see Doughty not play as many games and be flogged to death like he was last year, and hopefully, we see Bell play as that wing back at times. Not straight away, obviously, but as the season goes on now, because obviously he's back and available. But yeah, Doughty in the game, again, I think I'm going to have a 6. I know he got the assist, but his crossing for his standard was pretty poor. Maybe there was a chance where we should have had a penalty. It looked like it to me where he got fouled in the first half. Obviously, you were watching on TV, Dad, so you have a different angle, but I don't know. The one where Morris was getting grabbed low, I think that was, that I literally see a perch shirt.
Yeah, the referee didn't like Morris. No.
Yeah, referee was average, but it's not our performance really, but below average. But yeah, 6 for Doughty for me.
Yeah, well, the camera's disappeared.
Oh yeah, loves to do that.
Is the mic working now?
Yeah, the mic's still working. It's all good. It's all good with that. So yeah, there you go. You're back.
I don't know what's going on, but yeah, 6.
Yeah,
Much better.
Yeah, no, exactly. Then moving on to the midfield, start off with Nelson. Again, I thought he was good. You know, around the stadium, he got man of the match. They obviously announced it. I mean, I do hear it because you know he was his debut game starting, and he was actually all right to be fair. But I was surprised he was deeper than Baptiste. I'll be honest, I was a bit surprised about that at times in the game. But yeah, you know, he's obviously still got a lot to learn. But I felt he was all right in the game to be fair. So I'll give him. Do you know what? I'll give Nelson a 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. He tugged someone back, which he kind of need to. Got the yellow card. He's showing quite a lot of maturity definitely for his age. I think he's going to be our next like Ruddock. I can see why he got picked ahead of him, and I think that again in a better midfield, or if everyone else is performing, then I don't mind him coming on at all. Like some of his passing was excellent. Yeah, in the first goal, but we discussed that more defenders maybe would have been a bit easier. That's not his natural position as well. I think he's naturally like a cam striker.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
You know, so I see him in the friendly as well, playing in midfield. Obviously, because we're weak on them. But yeah, 6.5. I wouldn't be disappointed if he started again. I do think Clark will probably be back.
No, I agree.
But let's see if we change our formation. He'll definitely be involved anyway. I think he's not going out on run or anything like that. He's going to be. I think he's going to do bits for us this season as well. I really do. So yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, and for me, it wouldn't make sense if he did anyway, because you know he's part of that under 21, so you don't count as the 25 man squad thingy. So it wouldn't really make sense, especially what Rob Edwards said anyway. They wants him to try and make an impact. So he's definitely 100% going to stay this season. Jackie's gone 6.5 as well. Moving on to Baptiste, obviously the other player in the midfield, does just having issues with that camera. So yeah, bear with him a second. But yeah, Baptiste for me, he's my man of the match. I don't really want to give him man of the match because we lost quite heavily, but he was the best player for me. I felt, you know, a lot of times he was isolated, and that's not Nelson's fault because Nelson, like I say, it seemed like he was playing deeper than he, probably should really. But again, I felt he done okay there. But yeah, Baptiste for me, best player. I just thought a lot of the things he was doing, his turns, you know, the way he turns at the ball at his feet was quite similar to Barkley. Obviously, we know they're similar players. Again, Barkley's better, obviously, at this moment in time, but Baptiste is a similar player for that category. So yeah, Baptiste, man of the match for me, obviously off our first one of the thingy. So yeah, the new season, Baptiste. So yeah, for me, he gets a 7.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Is he your man of match as well?
Yeah, 100%. We've already discussed it earlier. You know, there's 3 assists, or you know, and it's tenacity. He lost the ball once where he tried. Well, he got a yellow card. He didn't get a yellow card. He produced a foul, but he had no one to pass it to. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I like him as well. So yeah, he's my man of the match, 7.
Yeah, no. There you go. Jackie says 7.5. And moving on to the front three, we'll start off with Chong. Obviously, did get the goal. You know, out of them 3, he was the best one for me. I just felt he was the more lively one. He did get a hold of the ball a few times, like we know he's obviously good at when the ball's at his feet. And yeah, we know he's going to be very impactful this season for us. So yeah, Chong, again, decent from him. Do you know what? I'll grab another 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. That first half, he weren't involved at all. Commentators were kind of saying that it's because he was being marked and that, but the second half, he was much, much more involved. into playing with Doughty more, running on the ball, winning free kicks, show fight himself with a foul, um, you know, clever play, movement for the goal, simple finish. 6.5. Glad he's got off the mark as well early because he's going to be up there in, top three scorers. I think personally, he's kind of continuing the good form that he did have at the end of season. In pre-season, he's looked really good. We're lucky that he didn't get injured when he got smacked up by them steps. So yeah, 6.5. I'm glad we got him as well. He's at this level. Yeah, he's an excellent player, definitely.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Then moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Morris. Again, like I say, I felt we probably should have got a penalty in the first half. When he got his shirt pulled, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't even believe that wasn't a card, man. That was crazy to me. But again, it wasn't a good of a performance from Morris as we'd expect. I sort of expect it of Elijah because he's a slow starter, traditionally. But Morris, yeah, it was quite disappointing from him in the game, especially in the second half. I didn't really see him, to be honest. So yeah, Morris, I'm gonna have to go. I won't go too low, but I'll go with another 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. He was trying. He was getting fouled as usual. He was winning fouls. The commentators hated him, by the way. The referee seemed to hate him as well a little bit. There was a moment in the second half where he was trying to dribble it in his own box like that. I think he just was a bit frustrated with the whole team performance as well, to be honest. But once them two get going, they're gonna destroy some teams definitely. Yeah, just a 6.
Yeah. Jackie's gone with a 5.5. Moving on to Elijah. Obviously, the last player out the starting 11. Obviously, had that moment, like I said, where he hit the bar. Again, I knew he weren't probably going to score just because, like I say, he's a slow starter. But as the season goes on, I reckon he'll be more impactful like he usually is. Especially if, Morris and him, stay fit and stuff like that. Touch wood, obviously I don't get injuries, but yeah, it wasn't terrible. Again, I'm going to go with another 6.
Yeah, 6. He had that shot on target as well, which when Johnson won the ball. But we know he's a slow starter. He is, but even as a slow starter, he's nearly scored as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a 6. Again, another one who's going to, when this transfer window needs to be shut, because we don't know if Morris, we know is staying anyway, but someone could come in for Elijah. And that might be on the back of his mind. We don't need to sell, and we're not going to sell for. We'll be demanding good money for him, especially if it's a Premier League club. Well, we ain't going to sell Championship anyway, no chance. But yeah, 6, because we didn't really deliver to them too much, but at the same time, sometimes you need your strikers to make things happen a little bit, like Foster did when he come on or whatever. Or did he start whatever? Like, and he run. Was it him who involved in the last goal, running forward?
Yeah.
So from like whatever it was, our own corner. So yeah, we expect a little bit more of them as well. So yeah, 6.
Yeah. Absolutely. Jackie's gone 5.5, and then obviously made 2 subs, Townsend and Ruddock. Townsend, I thought he was good when he come on. Like I said earlier, like I've been saying. So yeah, we'll be. Well, it's probably going to happen now, but especially at the time, if someone asked me, do you reckon that's his last Luton game? I'd be very surprised, to be honest, especially the impact he tried to make when he come on. So yeah, I thought he was, one of the better players, even though he come on. well, that's what they meant to do, subs. But still, I just felt he was better than a lot of the players that started. So I'm going to go 6.5.
Yeah, held the ball up well, getting forward, linking play well. 6.5.
Yep. And then Ruddock, a few moments that weren't overly great. And yeah, I just, like I say, I love the guy, but just going forward, having him as a second option, in the midfield, what does worry me, to be honest. So even though he come on not that long, the stuff at the back was very frustrating. Mengi was frustrated with him. There was a moment on the other side of the pitch where I think his control was shocking or something, and we just laugh, for God's sake. So for me, I'm going to have to go for 5.5.
No, I'm just gonna give him a 6. You know what I mean. I like Ruddock. Like he tried to play a through ball. I didn't really notice the errors in that, and he ain't been involved heavily in pre-season either. So it's coming on with 3 minutes to go. Like that's mad. Considering the player, how important he used to be for us, but we know that this level is not really. Do you know what I mean? At that
Mm,
way, we want to go forward. Let's be honest. But I just give him 6.
yeah, fair
Everyone
enough.
come on, I want to see him score a banger, or do you know what I mean? I'm like, just, but and I'm sure that hopefully that still happen this season. But yeah, I'm just gonna give him a 6. I'm not gonna be, what can you do in 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I do agree. He did do the subs a bit late, but we've already touched on that. But yeah, I'm just worried. But anyway, Jackie says Townsend 6.5, Pelly 5. Yeah, fair enough. And then moving on to the last bit of news, which I did want to get into. And that is another player we have been rumoured with. Obviously, he was watching this game, and that is Liam Walsh. He's currently a free agent. He was last at Swansea. I know Coventry fans did highly rate him because he was also there. But the only problem, well, to me, he sounds quite similar to Baptiste. Like on his day, you know when he's on it, he's on it. However, his injury record isn't the best. But again, it's another one where we could get him for free. We really need midfielders. He can play anywhere in midfield. He can play as a central midfielder, he can play as a CDM, and he can play as a cam. So for me, I know, he's just about played 100 odd games, which isn't, great in his whole career, but still, if it's for free, I'll take it. If we spent a bit of money on it, I'd be worried, personally, but I'm desperate for players, if I'm going to be honest. So I'll take him. I'll take him, especially if it is for free. Yes, apparently he's good mates with Clark, but then the way he was sitting there watching it with Nakamba there as well, he's on trial. Let's see what happens. I mean, Peters was on trial, that didn't happen, but I think that's a bit different. So we shall see. But yeah, man. What do you make of this news, Dad?
I haven't really seen too much of him, to be honest. I've had a little look, seen, he's had a few injuries, but sometimes that happens. Always presume that someone's, we're not talking about Andy Carroll here, so you never know. And again, it's free, so it's kind of no risk, isn't it? Basically, it's not like it's not like really a marquee signing where we heard of him like players like Ben Sheaf, Callum O'Hare, whatever. But you know, he's obviously got a bit of ability about him. He's been around the Championship and that. Like you said, Coventry rated him. Swansea, a team that likes to get the ball down and play generally, and he's obviously good at that. So for a free, fine. If that is the case, um, because compared to what we have got, he's definitely, he's definitely at least probably better than we've got. Only maybe even slightly. I think he's still quite youngish, peaking 26 maybe. But it's good that he's versatile as well. Like you said, CDM, Cam, but we still need another midfielder, definitely as well. Of that same ilk who can play. And because I've also noticed that Rob Edwards is now told, yeah, we're going to have to manage the squad better. We're going to have to rotate more. Or at the moment, you ain't got anyone to rotate, especially in midfield. You've got no rotation there. Well, you've got Ruddock on the bench. You rotate him with what else? No. Obviously, we've got Nakamba to come back. We know that, but he's not going to be up to proper speed, I don't think, until maybe a month. Bell's obviously slightly more ahead. He could probably come on in the next game, get some minutes behind him and stuff. And but for a free, it does sound like it. He was at the game.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So it's not a terrible thing. It's a free. People saying, yeah, we should be spending money, but if you look at what you can get and the prices, we were good at recruiting players generally from the lower leagues to make, but we've seen that, yeah, we've signed some of these players from there, and some of them advanced over a number of years, but we need it a little bit quicker than that now. We need ones that can jump up there quicker, because Elijah weren't nowhere near as good when we first signed him, but he had them years and them other seasons to develop. Same as Morris had a little bit more time. We haven't got that much time, so if you're looking for promotion, so they have to be already that sort of next level. That's why Mark McGuinness, Mengi, them sort of players, Walters, have played at Arsenal, Man United. They played in their, so that they're probably more likely to step up to that level. Whereas signing players like Anderson, we ain't going to be signing players like we did in the past, like Clark, things like, unless you can see a proper gem, which you can. Look, we signed McAtee, we've got rid of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it is for me. He's on a free, it's a bit of a risk, but I still want us to be signing, someone who's like we did last season. Yes, we were in the Premier League, but you can still sign certain ilk players. I wouldn't be a Metham. I want Dele Alli.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if no one offers him anything in the Premier League, do you know what I mean? I don't know if he's under contract there and what they're trying to get for him and stuff like that, but I don't think he's going to play more. Someone of that ilk, like we did with Barkley, and I still think we can do that. And let's be honest, I hadn't heard of Mark McGuinness before as well, and we'd be like, yeah, all right, we're getting for 8 million. You know what I mean? He looks off, I've had a little look at his stats and that. We're thinking, yeah, that'd be fine. So and then getting this guy on a free, it's the same token, really, isn't it? Because we both didn't really have, some people might have heard of him, but I don't think I have necessarily. And them type of midfielders are hard to get hold of nowadays. Do you know what I mean? We haven't had a tenacious midfielder. But yeah, Nakamba's a bit like that. But like I'm talking about like Kevin Nichols, people like that. Ilk, like Patrick Vieira, stuff like that. But I do think we'll make one or two before Portsmouth, but that won't be good enough for me. I still want another one. We still need another midfielder, and hopefully we don't get poached right at the end of the season for like Elijah or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Because in January, then you've got to deal with what you've got, possibly, and then in January you've got to be like, right, we've got to go out and sign someone, but it's difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm sort of surprised we haven't really done a standout sort of name yet. We have done that in recent years, haven't we? But yeah, I guess we'll just we'll see really. We'll see really what happens with that. But yeah, that's it's gonna be interesting for sure to see what goes on. But yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's everything for today. Obviously, I'll be back again in 2 days' time to preview the Portsmouth game. Obviously, we've both said about changing the formation, so be interesting to see what we both go with for that. So make sure you obviously tune into that, score predictions and that as well. And yeah, we'll be going to that game, so it'll be a match day vlog as well again. Apologies, the other one was so short. It's because I just need to get in the habit of doing them again, to be honest. And sometimes you do them and you think they're longer than they are, but they're not. So yeah, man. But big up to everyone that has watched that. Big up to everyone that has watched everything else. Make sure you do if you haven't already. Fan cam, a lot of the shorts and live streams. I'll be back again tomorrow with the championship show. I will be predicting the Luton game, but obviously I won't be going into it as much as on Friday. So yeah, and obviously all the other games. If you are interested in that, do tune into that. It'd be much appreciated, and do check out yesterday's as well. I did one yesterday as well, so it's going to be a weekly thing, reviewing and previewing games. And yeah, it's essentially like this, but obviously it's not just about one team; it's about everyone else in the league as well. So yeah, man, tune into that as well. And yeah, big up to everyone. Dad, any final things you'd like to say about anything?
Keep the faith. Come on. You know what I mean? We've got this, and I think you'd be probably, hopefully, surprised. But some of the signings that we do make.
Yeah, well, hopefully they come as soon as possible now, really. Going into that Portsmouth game, that'd be ideal because without getting into that too much, that's going to be very, very difficult. And I said that even before the Burnley game because it's their first game at home in the Championship in years. They're going to be well up for it. But it has come out today that we have sold out the away end as well, so that's good to hear. Obviously, I will be part of that, so yeah, it'll be good. And yeah, man, 6 a.m. wake up for me, so hopefully, you know, we get a result. And obviously, I know a lot of people travel from even further than where I will be, so big up to all of them as well. And hopefully, we bounce back and have a good result. But like I say, we'll get into that more on Friday. So yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Smash a like if you haven't already. Do subscribe as well to the channel. A few new subscribers. Getting even closer, guys, to 2,000. Obviously, we're trying to get there for quite a while. As it stands, we are, what are we? 26 away. 26 away. So yeah, if we could get there ASAP, that'd be great. And yeah, man, content every day from now up until Saturday. I know that for sure. And then Sunday, there'll probably be a short out to the game or something. I might even try and do a quick match reaction inside the ground as well, or outside. I'll see what I can do, but yeah, I'll try and do something there as well. I know you lot enjoy them, so yeah, big up to yourselves, guys. And until Friday from my dad, and until tomorrow for me, I'll see you lot in a bit. Take care and peace.